He does. And I think the driving factor, which is going to be a theme this year, is that right now prediction markets have the Democrats taking the House at 80%. So housing affordability is an issue. And we've talked about it since he made the statement of declaring a national emergency on housing. So clearly what they do in the administration, they know they have to do something on this. They want to do it at a time clearly when people have money coming in. So the one big beautiful bill, there's going to be a lot of surprises that come out. And I think it's important for people to recognize that when we were just talking about the GDP numbers, the 2 quarters before of 4%, and then currently GDP now at close to 6%, that's before we get the stimulus of the tax side in Q1. So let's assume we end up at 4% for Q3 and we get a 4% in Q1 because of all the stimulus stuff coming through without getting inflation. You'd be talking about year over year at 4%. You got to go a long way outside of COVID and the bounce back, a non-recessionary post period. So I do think that the housing market is part of his promise to the American people of the distribution of wealth issue and trying to find affordability for housing. I think it is a mistake to fade the fact that it's going to have an impact. And if you want to take one side, it's very, very difficult to believe that housing prices are not going to be impacted. Meaning, I would be surprised if you don't see house prices continue to be a zero inflationary component, if not a negative one, which is what we've been seeing, meaning they've been declining in terms of owner's equivalent rent. So I just take it as he's continuing with his campaign promise of trying to find a way to help middle America, people that are suffering out there. But the reality is it's not going to change the housing market. It's not going to be some big fix, but I think it's just additive to attempt to get the stimulus going in the way that we have using the tools that he has available to him. When you get to the point, Blackwell, let's say it goes from a 10 gigawatt, so 10 gigawatts of power to do the AI we're doing now. That's not the actual number, but let's just say that's what it was. So you're now going with Blackwell down to only 5 gigawatts necessary.
So it cuts it in half.
Cuts it in half.
Okay.
Rubin, which was announced, will take it down to about 1.
So it's a 90% reduction.
90% reduction.
From the current version to what is, I guess, going to come out in 2027.
2027, yeah. Okay. So the reality is, even if we never build another data center other than the Blackwells that are rolling out this year, that percentage of the overall power usage will go from 20% to 30% to 40%. Colossus 2, Musk's next part of Colossus, is supposed to be done in the first quarter. He talked about it on the interview. That's a massive gain. So that's why the models, and you use the car, let's go further back than a Honda. And let's say when you left horses and you started with cars, and the first car is the Hopper, then you get to a Porsche, which is the Rubin. Well, the first car is going a max of 15 miles an hour, and now the Porsche is going at 150 miles an hour.